While assault rifles are probably the most popular weapon class in Call of Duty, maybe that's debatable, the SMGs are right there. Now, these weapons usually feature lower damage than their full-size counterparts, but they make up for it. They have improved mobility, higher fire rates, makes them a great choice for aggressive players. Is that you? Are you an aggressive player? What's up, everybody? Chaos here. Today, we're going to be opening up an old box and answering the age-old question. What is the best SMG in COD history? We're going to venture from COD 4 all the way to Modern Warfare 2, the new one, and I'm going to let you know what I think the best SMG in every single game is. And then you guys can tell me if you agree or disagree, or put your definitive list below as well. Make sure you guys are subbed, drop a like, and let's shoot ourselves back to 2007 to kick things off. COD 4, the AK-74U. Now, a lot of people think the MP5 was the best SMG in the original Modern Warfare. I disagree. The MP5 was iconic, but the AK-74U had way more potential when it comes to killing enemies quickly and efficiently. It was a pocket AK. It fired at 800 rounds per minute, but it could kill with 2 bullets with using stopping power, which made it one of the toughest guns to go up against. The recoil, it was almost entirely vertical, so it was super easy to control. It wasn't unpredictable with the bounciness like the MP5. So yes, the MP5 and the AK-74U were similar with their damage profiles, but I think the AK-74U was easier to control. It just felt a little extra beefy, if you ask me. Before we move on, guys, if you get anything from G2A, use code CHAOS, get yourself some cash back. The link is at the top of the description. Now we arrive at World at War. This is a no-brainer. Let's just get it out of the way. The MP40, one of the most iconic firearms in human history, and Treyarch, they must have been really big fans of it. Because the World at War version, I don't even have to tell you. Come on. It could kill with 2 bullets with no stopping power. It was one of the only SMGs in COD history that could do that. In fact, I think it actually is the only SMG in COD history that can 2-tap without stopping power or headshots. I mean, that should lay a pretty good foundation of how ridiculous it was. The damage profile was high. The handling was good. Recoil was kind of nasty, but if you stuck to close quarters and hip-fired, it didn't matter. It was insane. The base stats were insane. You could get creative with your perk collection, put some double tap, put some steady aim on there. It was nutty. If you think the Vanguard version is good, you never got to try the World at War version. Modern Warfare 2, the original. The UMP-45. Now, the MP40 and the UMP, they're a lot alike. They both fired slowly. They both hit hard. They both were the best SMG in their respective games. The Modern Warfare 2, it stood out over the rest. I mean, lower fire rate, insanely high damage. With stopping power equipped, you could 2-shot people from any distance pretty much, and at max range, you could kill with 3 bullets. You heard me right. This SMG could kill across the map with 3 bullets. If that doesn't sum up the insanity of Modern Warfare 2, I don't really know what does. Smooth handling, easy recoil. It was the pick. I mean, people trying to stick to mid-range or maybe more stealthy players, they threw the suppressor on and they dominated. That UMP has never been seen again. The Modern Warfare 3 version was nerfed into the ground, and the less said about the 2019 version, the better. Assuming the UMP comes back this year in Modern Warfare 2, let's hope that IW treats it with a little more respect. It's an awesome weapon, and it deserves to at least be viable. Now we arrive at Black Ops, the original Black Ops. Has to be the AK-74U. In some COD games, there's a debate. We have to think about it for a second when it comes to which SMG is the best. Black Ops 1, nope, easy pick. I mean, it was so much better than everything. And that's not saying a lot because the offerings were that bad. This SMG had decent fire rate, the mobility, it was good. It was what you would expect. It made it one of the toughest close-range weapons to go up against. Black Ops 3, it struggled in the SMG department. The Uzi, the Kaparis, the PM63, but compared to the other guns in the game, it still stood out. There's no debate on this one. We're going to move on to Modern Warfare 3. There's no debate on this one either. The MP7. It's becoming more and more of a fan favorite every time it appears in a new COD game, but the original appearance, it's the best. It was the last SMG you unlocked in the game, and for good reason. Fire rate through the roof, iron sights super clean, recoil super low, and the damage was super high. Yeah, I don't know. Up close, it could kill with 3 bullets. Max range, it only needed 5 shots, meaning it actually had a better long-range time to kill than some of the ARs and LMGs in the game. You tell me how that got through. It was a weapon of choice for a giant portion of the Modern Warfare 3 community, and a lot of people still insist it was overpowered. They are right. I love this gun. I know it was busted, but I love it. Black Ops 2. The MSMC. It's one of those weapons that isn't blatantly overpowered, but the versatility just, it shines. That's why it was a top pick for competitive players and pub stompers. Up close, 3 bullets, max range, take another 3 to drop somebody. The fire rate was relatively moderate, 750 rounds per minute, nothing to write home about. Recoil took a little getting used to, so why was it so good? Why was it so beloved? It was just something about the gun. It felt smooth, and that 3-shot kill range was pretty long. It made it much more consistent than other SMGs in the game. The iconic design, the high damage per bullet, it just grabbed hold of the community, and it never let go. Some pro players, they still insist it's the best competitive SMG in Call of Duty history. COD Ghosts. Has to be the M-TAR-X. Now, the TAR is usually an assault rifle, but in Ghost, we got our first, and I think currently only SMG variant called the M-TAR. A lot of COD players still think it's the best M-TAR we've ever gotten. I'm not sure why it was put in the SMG category, but it was. It felt like a full-size rifle. 810 rounds per minute, killed in a maximum of 4 shots. However, what really made it appealing was the 3-shot kill range. It dealt 40 damage a pop for up to 15 meters, and you could drop that down to just 2 shots if you wanted to aim high. Now, with damage boosts like that and a 3-shot kill range, it was easily the best SMG in the game. And then you factor in the ridiculous 4-shot kill range, it was one of the most versatile weapons in the game. It's not shocking that it was such a fan favorite. Advanced Warfare, our first jetpack game. Has to be the ASM-1, right? It's 2022, and I'm still not sure why the gun was never nerfed. Looked like a futuristic Tommy gun. Even had a variant that embraced that even further, but most people just remember it for its insane damage profile. It was way better. It was. Insane 3 to 4 shot kill range. Since the first few shots came out faster than the rest, people treated it like the AN-94, and they got good at hitting those first shots and dropping enemies almost instantly. The base version of the ASM-1, it was good enough. Then you had the variants, the Speakeasy, the Royalty. Woo! Advanced Warfare had some very creative weapon designs, but Sledgehammer probably should have followed up just a little more with the balancing patches. Black Ops 3. I'm going to go with the Kuda. Sometimes the starting SMG is the best. Futuristic MP5 or UMP, whatever. It wasn't the flashiest SMG in the game, but it's often considered the best because it was consistent. It was almost always a 3 to 4 shot kill, and since it had a pretty respectable fire rate, it killed quickly. A lot of people gravitated towards the VMP in Black Ops 3. I get it, but the Kuda, it just had that it factor. The VMP may have killed a little faster, but the Kuda felt more beefy and a tad more consistent. I mean, I'm going to put it on here. I'm probably going to get some spicy comments, but I think people slept on the weapon. I do. Infinite Warfare. Let's go with the Trencher. It had some really outlandish weapon designs, so maybe it's a little ironic that I think the best SMG in the game was a World War II throwback weapon. Trencher was basically the Type 99. Featured a sideways magazine, relatively low fire rate, fantastic range, no recoil at all. Despite having the handling of an SMG, it had the damage of an AR, and that made it feel really unique compared to the rest of the weapons at your disposal. Infinite Warfare was not exactly the community's favorite game, but there were some really fun guns to use, and the Trencher was one of them. I kind of like when COD games put throwback weapons in the multiplayer. It's a fun way to pay tribute to the franchise's roots without just completely changing the setting. COD World War II. The PPSH-41. Now, this version isn't even close to being historically accurate. I know. It's probably the best version of the gun we've gotten in a COD multiplayer, maybe? In real life, it had an absurd fire rate, but in COD World War II, Sledgehammer decided to make it handle more like an MP5 or a traditional modern COD SMG. It only fired at 722 rounds per minute. I mean, seriously. But the damage profile was there, and it was one of the best guns in the game for rushing. It was by far the most used SMG in competitive play, and I think most internal data will reveal that the majority of the player base was using it. It was patched once or twice, sadly never to bring it back to its original fire rate, but it still remained a top-tier pick for the entirety of COD World War II's life cycle, despite all the DLC weapons that came. Now, maybe a slap in the face to World at Wars, but it was good. Black Ops 4. Has to be the SOG 9mm. How many of you kind of miss Black Ops 4? Do you? It was widely hated by a lot of people, but I've noticed in recent years a lot of people warming up to it. The new ideas were fresh, and while they weren't everybody's cup of tea, they definitely made for a unique experience. If you're playing Black Ops 4 back in the day, you remember this. The weapon was leaps and bounds better than everything else in the SMG category. I don't think it was ever fully nerfed. Fire rate was great, damage was good, very low recoil. It made it a force to be reckoned with. You may have expected me to put the VMP here, but instead, since most Black Ops 4 players also remember that completely broke the game when it was added as DLC, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because the Black Ops 4 VMP was a disgrace, and if you use it, you're a bad person. I'm kidding. I don't make the rules, but I'm going to go with the SOG. Modern Warfare 2019. No shocker, MP5. It'll go down in history as one of the sweatiest weapons in any first-person shooter. It's one of the first SMGs you unlock in progression. And it was powerful, mobile, prime choice, easy to use. The game was a slow game, but there was a lot of aggressive players who knew how to use the movement to their advantage, and the MP5 was one of the best weapons for players like that because of how many crazy attachments it had to make it function even better. You maxed out speed, you could kit it out. This thing was insane. Now we start a trend. The Black Ops Cold War MP5. Treyarch decided to follow Infinity Ward's lead, make it a sweaty gun in Cold War. So we have another 12 months of absolute MP5 dominance. Now this version wasn't quite as ridiculous as its predecessor, but it was still easily the best SMG in that game for the game's life cycle. If you boot up Cold War right now, it won't be long before you run into MP5 enjoyers. The Gunsmith, once again, allowed you to kit this thing out precisely how you want it. You didn't have to sacrifice the insane default damage profile. It wasn't flashy, wasn't insane, but it was strong. It is returning once again in Modern Warfare 2. So maybe cooler heads prevail and we don't get another year of the MP5 spam in every lobby. I don't know. We'll have to see. Vanguard. The MP40. Now, it's appeared a lot of times throughout COD history, and I still think the World at War version is the best. This one was good. It was. Handling speeds, high fire rate, damage enough to drop enemies with 2 shots. It was tough to go up against, and it was unlocked right away, so everybody had access to it at all times. Yay! It's also a little ironic to me when the starting weapon in a certain category is actually the best at your disposal, and the Vanguard MP40 fits that description to a T. Versatile, powerful, intimidating, iconic, all of those. And now we arrive at Modern Warfare 2. We don't even have the game yet, but we're going to go off the beta. We're going to go with the Lockman sub. Remember, all the stuff I said about the MP5, we're going to close out the video with what is essentially another MP5. Go figure. This sub dominated Modern Warfare 2's beta, and it will likely dominate the full game. Despite having a different name, it looks and functions almost identically to the MP5, so you should know what to expect. Solid fire rate, high damage, close range capabilities, fast handling. I'm hoping they make some adjustments before full launch, because I really don't want another year of MP5 spam. I don't care if it's called something else. Give us some more variety. There you have it. That's my picks for the best SMG in every single Call of Duty game that is dropped. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree, and I'll see you soon.